Going on, guys? So today got a new project. I'm at my dad's house. As you can see, garage is different. Anyways, so today we're gonna be working on my it was my grandpa's Cadillac, but he gave it to my dad. It's a '54 Coupe de Ville, two-door hardtop, cool badges. So this car is not originally black. It's originally like a light blue. I do not know if the top was white or not, because just like the Tri-5s, they have a body tag right there. It's got a paint code and options and stuff. But car is restored at one point. Red interior. So this car is pretty sharp when it was done. But overall, the car is in decent shape. This quarters had some mud work, mainly down here. You probably can't get it on camera. But these are temporary wheels. I know they're ugly, but they're temporary. Does run, does drive. 331 cubic inch. Rochester Ford jet. Has been rebuilt, but we plan on possibly replacing it. Got all the trim. And one thing that I like about these, which is just like the Tri-5s, well, mainly the 56.7, is the hidden gas cap. I just think that's cool. So you just press the reflector button, pops it up. So what we're doing today is we got a brand new gas tank, because the car did sit for I think like 15 years. So I'm just gonna go ahead and replace it. And then we also have a fuel line. I'm not sure if it's stainless or steel. I didn't buy it, so replace that. I'm not sure if we have a sending unit. I thought we did. But another thing we're gonna do, we got spark plugs. I have an adapter plate for a Ford jet because the Ford jet has a smaller bolt pattern, so it uses these small bolt patterns. And we're gonna put a Summit carburetor on there, so we need a 4150 style. So we got an adapter carburetor here. So hopefully it's not too bad. I haven't done a gas tank on a '54 Cadillac before, but hopefully it's not too hard. So I'll push this thing forward so I can get room behind it, put it on jack stands, and rip this gas tank out. going on, guys? So I got this gas tank in and fuel line. A little dark, I shut the light off, but brand new gas tank. Now I went to go put the sending unit in, which I did find. This is what consists of the sending unit. This little guy. But it did not come with any screws, so I got 2 of them out. All the other ones started rounding out, and they're just a Phillips head. So I'm gonna go to Ace and get probably bolts, actual bolts, or the bolt head, I should say. And I put in the probably the world's longest steel fuel line. So it's actually pretty easy on this car. So it comes out of here, runs up over the frame to the outside, and then it just runs along and then loops underneath the engine and stuff. So it's actually pretty easy. I mean, it's like, other than it being 40 feet long. But when I took the gas tank out, it did have some fuel in it. See all the brown? All that came out of the tank. So it had rust in it. Which, not surprised. But, probably can hear it on camera, but yeah. Kind of hard to do with one hand, but you can hear stuff rattling around in there. So, had the fuel line come up here. I just stuck this on so nothing gets down in it. But the fuel pump is right here, right on top. So now I'm going to put the carburetor on. I need to get a fuel filter because this one's dirty. And looking at it, we're gonna have to remount the coil because this car is still points. Unless I can convince my dad to put HEI in here, I would, because points, I'm not a real big fan of them, and from what I've watched, they can fail if the car sits over time. They'll lose their spark. But carburetor, already unboxed it. It's a 600 vacuum secondary. Not too special. Comes with the gasket and everything. So I'll get you guys set up and throw this carb on. And reason why I wanted him to switch it is that carb has an electric choke. This one, let's see, looks like it uses, so alright, so it's got a tube, so that's the choke. It's got a metal tube that runs down and it goes into the manifold right here. So it uses hot air, so it's a hot air choke, which I'm surprised because GM used divorce choke for a long time, but then they switched to hot air choke. So yeah, I'm pretty surprised that it has that. But anyway, I'm not sure if that even works. Plus a new carburetor, you don't have to rebuild it, and it's this one, it's based off of Holly, so it's easier to tune, and you have an electric choke. So get you guys set up and throw this carb on real quick. What's going on, guys? So we're back out here working on the Cadillac. Actually been about, I think, 2 weeks waiting on a base gasket for carburetor for the adapter plate, because the adapter came with two 4150s, and it would have a, I don't know if you'd be able to see it. So on this back corner, can't see it on the camera, but you can see a little daylight. So there'd be a vacuum leak there if I tried to use it. So we'll put this on underneath, and then the carburetor go on top. Alright guys, got this carburetor on. All shiny new. The fuel line hooked up. I do need to go get some hose clamps. Ran out of some. So, but new fuel filter. Looks pretty good. Everything, throttle works. Doesn't catch on nothing. I am gonna have to relocate the coil, because they originally mounted those two bolts, so we'll have to do that. But it actually went pretty smooth. I did have to run the big base gasket for the 4150 style to clear this vacuum port, so no big deal, but it clears front and back. So looking pretty good, coming right along. Now the only other thing is on the throttle cable and the trans kick down, because these cars use rods. Hoping, see, that's transmission, and this one's throttle, I believe. Yep. So hopefully I can still use the original stuff. If not, probably gonna have to do cable, at least for the throttle. Transmission, well, I'm probably gonna have to use it regardless. I don't think they sell a cable for this style transmission. Yeah, I should be able to adjust this back, bolt it on right there, and this one I'll have to twist it to put it in, but looks pretty good. I like it. I like the looks of it. Just need to get an air cleaner, and I got a couple other things that we're gonna do. Gotta put a thermostat in it. It needs new battery cables because we rigged it to run the battery up here, because the original spot tucks in there and it's like 12 feet long. So we did it that way we can use a standard battery, and it's only temporary. Same with the fuel tank, but get this thing running on its own fuel tank. So I think that's where I'm going to leave it for today. On the next video, I'll do the thermostat, get fuel in it, and start it, mess with the carburetor, tune it, figure out how to wire up the choke. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching. See you guys next time.